Hello wrestling fans, the Wrestling Wizard here and welcome to another video. And in this video we're going to do a little bit of detective work. We're going to dig out an audio clip from an episode of SmackDown last year on December the 23rd that could potentially have been a hint, a teaser for the return of a certain darker alter ego in, of course, the Fiend. Now, obviously, since Bray Wyatt has returned to WWE, in kayfabe, he's been pretty consistent in saying that the Fiend is gone. He doesn't want to be that man. He doesn't want to wear that mask. He doesn't want to be that monster, become that human tornado where he destroys himself and everything around him. Doesn't want to be that guy. And if you think about it logically, every time, most of the time he came out to cut promos, he would open with the lines, "My name is Bray Wyatt." He wants to be remembered as Bray Wyatt, the wrestler from a wrestling family. It's almost like he's trying to convince himself by repeating that his name is Bray Wyatt, that this is the route that he wants to go down, that he's going to resist that temptation to become that darker alter ego in the Fiend. But he said himself that sensations like that are hard to give up, near on impossible. So is he just kidding himself when he says the Fiend is dead? Even in a Ryan Satin kayfabe interview, I will add, he brought up the fact that for him personally, apparently the Fiend died that day at WrestleMania 37, but the Fiend is no man, the Fiend's a monster. You even said himself in a tweet, you can't kill it. He shall return. Why would the Fiend be in the same segment when he returned to WWE at Extreme Rules as part of the other Firefly Funhouse brought to life puppets if it caused him that much trauma? He knows the Fiend gets him respect. Now, yes, in kayfabe, he says he doesn't want to be the Fiend, but that makes me think that Bray Wyatt is lying because after all, Uncle Howdy, the ghost in the machine, warned us that Bray is a liar, that he's lying to us, and in the end he'll make fools of us all if we let him. Everybody lies, the world is built on lies. A snake in a cage is still a snake. So what if Bray is known all along that he is going to revel in who he is, embrace the darkness and wear that mask once more? Potentially. Now, if you go all the way back to December the 23rd on an episode of SmackDown, and this is where the audio clip comes. On that episode of SmackDown, Bray Wyatt came down to the ring and laughed, joked about the fact that he wasn't the one that attacked LA Knight. He said, "I'm not Uncle Howdy, I was never Uncle Howdy," but then loses his words. Maybe, just maybe, he felt guilty that right there he lied to us fans about not being Uncle Howdy, not being the one that attacked LA Knight. And because he felt guilty, disappointed in himself, he viciously attacked a cameraman with the mandible claw. I will add the Fiend's finishing maneuver. Right there, he viciously attacked this cameraman. Now, all we need to make out this audio clip. I've slowed it down, I'll play that version of it as well, but I'll play the initial version. Obviously I can't put the video up because I'll get done for copyright, but just listen to what Bray says when he's attacking this cameraman. Here's another version slowed down. He definitely says the words, mutters the words, "Let me in." We know how synonymous this is with the Fiend whilst he's delivering the mandible claw. What if Bray knew all along that Return of the Fiend was coming? It was always going to come. It was part of the plan. But after all, Bray doesn't feel bad because in his mind, psychologically, he's just a servant, right? He's just following Uncle Howdy and he goes where the circle takes him. Note that he winked there at that point, so he knows where this circle is going to take him. What if that is the return of the Fiend? Now, yes, WWE have teased this Wyatt'S faction potentially incoming, and allegedly that was the plans post WrestleMania for a faction angle to be introduced involving Eric Young, assuming Alexa Bliss amongst others. But what if the Fiend is part of that Wyatt'S? He can still be part of that faction. After all, we saw him with the Firefly Funhouse puppets at Extreme Rules. I believe the Fiend will be part of a faction in some shape or form. Bray has teased the Fiend on multiple occasions to us, the fans, where we have lapped it up. He said, do you want to see the show? Do you want to see the human tornado destroy himself and everything around him? I still believe to this day that the plans WWE had for Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania 39 involved the return of the Fiend. We saw the Fiend in the box in the dark side of the Firefly Funhouse. Alexa Bliss kind of taken hostage, it seemed, via unclehowdy. And yes, we didn't actually physically see that, but it was very obvious at the Royal Rumble that unclehowdy had control of Alexa Bliss and she wasn't the one in charge. So I believe via Alexa Bliss, in some shape or form, Bray Wyatt and Alexa would have been connected. The Fiend and Alexa Bliss would have been connected, and Alexa Bliss would have played a role in bringing back the Fiend on the grandest stage of them all. And then post WrestleMania, it seemed like we're going to get this faction angle where Bray and Alexa would have been connected alongside Eric Young and other members of a potential incoming faction, which were allegedly the plans. But Alexa Bliss is, of course, pregnant. She's not going to be back in WWE until next year, spring probably. More likely, right? So maybe WWE want to hold off on the Fiend's return until next year's WrestleMania and involve Alexa Bliss as planned. Save WrestleMania 40 for the return. Pivot with the Bray Wyatt storyline. You can introduce other characters, other dynamics, maybe build a faction but alter the members potentially. And get down in the comment section, by the way, who would you like to see as part of a Wyatt faction? I definitely feel like a separate video has got to come up on that. Maybe, just maybe, they swerve, but I do believe WWE's plan was to return the Fiend, and I still believe down the line we will see the return of the Fiend. There's too many hints, there's too many clues. You can't believe Bray. He's a liar. unclehowdy says so. Also, on a side note, we can't ignore that new mask character reveal we saw from Bray Wyatt at the Royal Rumble. Now, I personally believe that's Uncle Harper, but what do you think? Get down in the comment section. You can work new dynamics, new characters into a Bray Wyatt storyline. Keep it fresh. Don't overexpose the Fiend like it was before, but have him as part of the Bray Wyatt return storyline. Surely it makes sense. What do you think? Get down in the comment section. Share your thoughts and opinions. What do you think about that audio clip? Do you think that was a teaser way back when? Do you think this has been the plan all along? What do you think? Sound off. Thank you so much for watching the video. As always, it'd be very much appreciated if you could like the video, share the video, and even better, subscribe if you're new. Catch you in the next one.